evil dwells in every alley. Despair has conquered every home. And inside I keep on dying in this land of broken hopes and dreams. I can live in the state and dystopia. And inside I keep on dying in this land of broken hopes and dreams. I can live in the state and dystopia.
Thank you.
Feel better?
We lowered the pressures. A little.
But not huge.
Yeah, get my pressures. We lowered them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you
It was a
lowered
little better.
them. All right, lowered them.
Yeah, the car's just oversteering. I'm beginning to realize.
All right.
We got
that's
too
what
much
I
rear
understand.
bar.
I think the pressure seemed high for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Randy.
I'd say grip was better.
I think you're.
And I think we're oversteering. Yeah.
See, you can see the rear camber because you can't get that much. So
Wow,
you're rolling
harder.
the back,
Yeah.
and then the front's 167, 160, 155. That's good. So
So I think we want lower pressures. This was good.
you dropped.
And less rear bar. We did. We dropped them about 4 pounds.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Right on, man.
Thanks a million. Are they leaving?
Got it, brother. Here, I'll get you going.
Okay. I realize now the car's just oversteering. The rear bar's too big.
But it didn't do it up top.
It did a little bit,
little bit?
but the turns are different, so it's not as obvious.
Right.
And I was being so careful. That's why I don't want to throw it into a corner. I don't trust the back. I start to realize that now.
It's a verdict.
That was a positive.
Okay.
Tire grip is better.
Okay.
And the car's clearly just oversteering. We need more front bar, less rear.
Okay.
We're gonna fix that for tomorrow.
So do you want to chase more pressures on this? Or?
Yeah, I'd keep going. I mean, look at them and see what you think.
Okay.
Roll over. Hey, did you show Dwayne the pressures and temperatures? The sheets I gave Eddie. We brought down tire pressures. The Yokohamas are working better with less pressure. I had actually recommended putting them high because this car is a lot heavier than the cars that those racing slicks are normally on. But that's not the hot tip. We're bringing them back down, which has felt good. And the car has just plain oversteer. So we're going to do some adjustments with the unplugged suspension to reduce oversteer, and should be even better tomorrow. I had a good time, I'll tell you that. Woo. Well, we're back at the house. It's still only 2:30, and we've already gone up on Pikes Peak. practiced all morning, worked on the car all afternoon. You know, you can get a lot done when you start your days at 3 a.m. I'm just saying. Let's see, it was a lot of adventure today. Yesterday, good day. We had a strong lap time, first in class. So we brought the car back out to the bottom section of Pikes Peak. It's a longer run, it's over 4 minutes. Yesterday was just 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And it's qualifying. It's not huge, but you get to brag about if you're first or whatever compared to the people in your class. And it determines the running order. And it's better to run later because the earlier cars kind of sweep the track for you. So we do want to run as late as possible in the class. At Pikes Peak, that's an advantage. So we took the car out. We have to be mindful of how we're going to run because it's an electric car and there is no supercharger up there to charge our Tesla. And every time we run, it has less battery power. The Model S Plaid, fortunately, has the next generation batteries and it has a tremendous amount of battery. It also manages to keep full power well into its battery life. It does not lose power for a long time. And that's one of the things that we confirmed today. But at the same time, I don't want to go out on my very first run, having not run this part of the course in this Model S Plaid before, and drive like a madman and maybe have something show up that I didn't expect and go off track. So we went out and ran. Our biggest competition in the class is another Tesla, but it's a Model 3 from the Evasive team driven by Dai Yoshihara, the drifter, who happens to be like one of the nicest guys on earth too. And engineered by Mike Kojima, an old friend of mine from the 80s, do the math, who's a terrific car builder. Anyway, those guys went fast. And so I'm going out there thinking, well, I can't lollygag around too long, but I went as quick as I could and kept my risk low. But the car was oversteering. And we go back out for a second run. We looked at tire pressure choices and tried to decide where's this oversteer coming from. I told him it felt like there wasn't enough pressure. I thought it was sidewall flex. Because when I turned, the car would, actually it was more like yaw, right? We talked about this. If the car's really soft, you'll feel it in roll, body roll, which is in this plane. But what I was feeling was yaw, which is the car rotating like this on track. It was pretty wild. And you hear me comment about it while I'm driving through the helmet, sort of muffled a little bit, but it was fun, but it was crazy. And it made me careful because I could feel that I could spin this car. And this is very different from yesterday. When we were running the top section, I didn't notice that characteristic until right near the end in the last run. It started rotating around the hairpins for the first time. And I thought it was tire temp or something. You know, when you're racing cars and the handling changes, there's so much that the driver and the team have to sort out to decide what's causing this. Why did it change? And you've got to figure out why. And you know what else? You got to be honest, or you're never going to get a good handling car. You got to be willing to blame yourself. You got to be willing to gently blame the crew or find the real answer. And on a good team, everybody is open to that. And that's part of what makes a good team. Honesty. Anyway, I spoke to the tire guys and they said, man, those pressures already look pretty high. I had recommended that myself because the car is well over 4,000 pounds and these are Yokohama Racing slicks designed for cars well under 3,000 pounds. So more pressure, more load, kind of makes sense. What we decided on the second run was we would try lower pressure because the Yokohama representatives, Gabe and Dwayne, both thought the pressures were too high for maximum grip, way too high. So we brought down the pressures. I drove the car. The grip felt better, but the rotation was still there. Well, in the end, I'm going to shorten up this story before you have to go have dinner, is we found out that there was an alignment issue and that was the reason the car was rotating. And I noticed from watching the films, the sideways moments were turning left. Turning right, the car was okay. So we've got that sorted out. We figured out what it is. And we're going to be more ready than ever for tomorrow. We're going to the middle section, which is our last practice day. And guess what? In spite of the yaw and the sliding around, we still got the best time in the class today, just not by as much. Die was much closer. And so we're optimistic about tomorrow. I'm optimistic about having the car not wiggle waggle all over the track. And still love the power. And it held up well today in 3 runs, which is 12 minutes of running, which is 2 minutes longer than I hope the mountain climb will be on Sunday. So stick with us. The adventure continues. And come back tomorrow and let's see what we got for the middle section.